Welcome back, people. This is twinsinc and the Chop Team.
What's up? Seth the Dark Child coming at you one more again.
So, hope everybody's having a great day today. And it's FY, ladies and gentlemen, we record every Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The show from the Chop Team drops on Monday morning, 7 a.m. and Wednesday. And I'll give you time. We'll start doing that 7 p.m. as well for our episodes. So Monday and Wednesday, we drop 7 a.m. Monday morning. And Wednesday, 7 p.m., we have the episode drop every week. And as far as our podcast, so we're on all platforms. iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever. Tune in. So had to get that out the way, sir.
Yes, sir.
So as you know, Seth the Dark Child has a good topic that he wants to talk about today. It has something to do with relationship or love. What's going on, sir? What are we talking about today?
Well, you know what? So recently I started thinking about the 4 seasons of life. Right?
Oh, 4 seasons of life.
I started, listen, this is straight up theory I'm trying to flesh out, but I thought it had some value because I see us, so many people are off track on this, right? In my opinion. So I'll just start it.
Okay.
So my theory says life has 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter.
Okay.
All right. So what I consider spring was our youth. Some people want it to be longer than it really is, but I think spring is like 0 to, let's say, 21 maybe.
Okay, I'm with you with that. That's
okay,
something fair.
Okay, so 0 to 21 is spring.
Okay.
That's when you are young, you're doing what you want to do. You get your education.
Right.
Most don't have jobs. Happy go lucky. That's spring, right?
Right.
Summer starts, I'm gonna say, right at 21.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as long as spring, whatever you might want to think. Summer might last until 40, 42 at the most.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's it. And your summer is over at 42, in my opinion, right? Okay. So that they gave you 21
at 40
years.
Or 42?
I'm going to say 42, okay, just to be nice.
Right.
I'm going to give you, and then from 42, so now you're into the fall of your life.
Oh, fall.
And you're looking from 42 until right at 65.
Okay.
Whatever retirement age is.
Okay.
That's the fall of your life. And then winter is from retirement, 65 until death.
Okay.
Right?
All right, I'm with you now.
Okay. Well, I've just been looking at this world we live in, and people, what you're supposed to do in each stage is simple. So in your first stage of life is youth. You're growing up, you're getting ready to live your life.
Okay.
In the summer, that's when you should have kids. That's when you start your career. That's when you're starting to get busy. Okay. You know?
I'm with you.
So from 21 until 42, that is the summer of your life, right? Preferably, you need to have your children in early summer. Don't wait until the latter part of summer to try to have kids, aka kids in your early 20s, let's say May, are much better than trying to cram out 3-4 kids about 37, 38 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's the end of the summer. That's not the good time to be having kids. And I'll tell you why in a moment. Okay, so fall, hopefully your kids are grown or almost grown, get ready to move out the house, and you can spend the next 20 years getting ready for winter. That's when you stack cheese. That's when you go hard at work. My kid's 18 years old, might be in college or something like that. I can still put in 60 hours a week at work, and I can stack this cheese so that when I retire, I can chill for the winter of my life. Right?
Okay.
And from winter, once again, after 65, I don't want to have to work. Most people do have to work, but some people, because they messed up their spring and their summer, end up working in the winter. That doesn't make sense, right?
It doesn't at all.
I mean, so that makes sense. That's my little theory, right?
I'm with you.
Well, here's my problem.
What's the problem?
Like a lot of ladies, and I'm serious, you should get married, have kids early summer. In your 20s, you should be having kids in your 20s. You should really be finished having kids by 30. By the time you hit 30 years old, you should be done having kids. Why? Because towards the middle of the summer, even now, let's be honest, kids go to school. You getting ready for school in August.
Right.
It's still summertime, right?
Right.
But you moving towards the fall, you getting ready for that transition.
Okay.
Well, a lot of people are trying to push this childhood thing from 0 to 30.
Ooh.
And then they want to try. I'm still young. I've heard people say at 27, "Oh, you're still young. You got time." No, you well into summer at this point. What do you mean you still young? You can't be getting ready to get started at 30. Okay, but let's say you do foolishly get ready to get started at 30.
I started at 30.
Yeah, no, I'm this, bruh. Nobody told me this.
No.
But the math, because it's all math doesn't add up at one.
I'm with you. I just want to throw out there because sometimes people, when we talk and speak about things, people think we're coming from a place of being perfect.
Oh,
and know it all.
Really?
I said no because we learn through experience.
I got my first child was at 29, so no, I enjoyed my 20s. The point being for myself is that in kind of a way, I wasn't planning on kids. So my summer and my spring didn't matter because I didn't expect to have offspring.
Gotcha.
All right. I said, if you planning it, but once you start having offsprings, whatever. Now here's the deal though. Men make more money. Our careers get really started about 35.
Facts.
We make more money. The bulk of the money we're going to make in our life is between 35 and 55.
Facts.
And it starts declining after 55, right?
Facts.
Well, if you had kids in your 20s, your kids teenagers or headed towards teenagers at 35.
Headed towards independence.
So you don't have to devote as much time to them, to their maintenance and upkeep, and you can devote more to building for your fall. Now, the fall, once again, from 42 until 67, 65, 67. I don't know what the age is anymore.
Used to be 65, but we'll
okay. That well, at this point, you are fully into making the bulk of the money you're gonna make. Your house, you should be able to pay your house off in your 40s. Even if you bought your house in the early summer of your life, by the time you get to 40, it should be paid off. Or if you got equity in the house, you can put the kids' college at this point needs to be paid off. Yeah. But you in your 40s, you still got plenty of life left to live, right? Yeah. And then from 42 until that's 25 years. This is when you're going to take your family vacation, when you can be a real family, not that struggle stuff you go through when kids still in diapers. Because we all know how hard it is when the kids are babies.
Right.
That you should handle that in the early summer.
I'm with you.
By the time you get to the fall, your kids are the people who you want them to be. You might even be planning on grandchildren soon. Let's be honest. All right. Definitely by the time you get to mid-fall, you most likely will be a grandparent by mid-fall. This is still 42. I'm telling you, and I'm still going. And then once you hit 65, I want to be able to retire. I want to be able to I don't want to have to work in the fall. I mean, in the winter.
Right.
I don't want to. You're 67. You've been working since you were 17. In some cases, that's 50. That's 50 years of your life you spent working. You still want to be trying to work at 67?
Regardless if you work for yourself or work for someone else, you still working.
If I'm working for myself, fine. But if I gotta be a greeter at Walmart,
even if you create a business, when you get to 65 plus years old, you still won't be doing what you're doing.
I don't want to be putting in 80 hours a week.
Like, for example, this is Puff. Puff created Bad Boys.
Yes.
You think Puff still want to do them late night hours and instill the people? No, he got people who do that. Right?
No, I agree.
He may walk every once in a while like, all right, do this, do that. All right, you got it, I'm out.
But at this point, he quote unquote godfather in the business.
Exactly.
But now here's my problem. I listened to it, and like my nephew was 25 recently talking about, all right, Uncle, I think I'm gonna go to school. 25. So you plan on finished at school at 29?
I mean, depending what you're going to school for. So I guess based on the conversation, he's trying to do a 4-year degree. He ain't trying to get a trade done.
Well, but it doesn't matter for this example.
Right.
I'm just saying you want to go to school at 25. What have you been doing? Well, I had this going on, I had that going on, and I was doing this and I was doing that. Basically living your youth. You was in the spring, but you drug spring all the way. And now you want to go to school from 25 to 30 pretty much. bruh, you well into summer. Okay. So when you gonna have kids? Well, I'll probably have kids about 32, 33. Let's say you have kids at 32. In 18 years, how old will your kid be coming out of high school? How will you be if you have a kid at 32? Mm-hmm. You'll be 50. You got 15 years left to retirement, and you still got to pay for somebody else's college.
And his.
Yeah, I mean, your kids, you gotta pay,
saying,
and he might still have student loans.
No, he still has student loans. 4 years, unless he knows somebody as far as connection, he come out of college, getting an entry job, and working his way up.
Exactly. And at this point, you putting the height of your earning years instead of being 35 is 45. You don't miss 10 years of the height of your earning, but because you want to keep trying to enjoy your youth. That's my problem. People keep trying to enjoy the youth well past the date. Bro, milk go bad at a certain date. It does. We can argue that, but it does. And so now, but let's say, like I say, you in the fall of your life, but because you spent way too much time in the spring of your life, right? And then you trying to cram everything into the summer and the fall of your life. Sounds good. Hey, you still young. Hey, 42 isn't old to anybody. But from a mathematical, economic standpoint, you've missed the boat on a lot of things. But fast forward it. So let's say you 50. I mean, you had kids at 32,
right?
Or in some cases, 38 or 40. You're 40 years old. You are right in the fall of your life. You are in the September of your life. And now you want to have kids. And that's the end of the summer, right?
Yeah.
End of the summer.
And also on top of that, as you get older, your patience level kind of drop as you get older.
You are not a better parent at 40 than you would have been at 20. You're just not. I don't care what nobody says.
You may be financially better at an older age,
right? Give you that part.
If you was doing what you're supposed to.
If you did.
No, I'm not saying go to college 25 was it. No, you should have been at 18 years old, right into it, whatever. But let's say you went the right route. But so at 38, you should be financially good, but your pace level ain't there.
Yeah, but we still on the math. Go ahead. So let's say you magically had a kid at 40 because I like round numbers. How old are you when your kid graduated from high school?
You said 40.
58 years old, brother. 58. It's a lot of you. Oh, I can keep on having kids. I'm gonna find a man I want. You're 40 having a baby. You'll be 50 when he come out of high school, but that's fine. You still got to pay for college. So that's another 4 years. You'll be 62 when you finish paying for your kids' college. Now it's time for you to get ready for the winter of your life. You got how many years? You got 5 years to get ready for the winter of your life.
Not the work.
Does that make any sense?
That's a lot of people now. I mean, yeah.
But I see. You can see so many problems with that.
A lot.
We can all keep rolling around to these sociological problems. Once again, people, not just men, people, men, women, stop this. Quit always trying to say 40 is the new 30 and 50 is the new. No, the hell it ain't. 50 is 50. 40 is 40. 30 is 30. And if you are waiting to 30 to hit certain milestones, you are causing problems long term. How about this? You have a kid at 8. You have a kid at 40. You 58 when you might not even live long enough to see them graduate from high school. You blank might not see grandchildren.
Oh, yeah.
And now you got an 18, 20-year-old running around with no parents because you waited a long time. Yeah. I mean, God.
Wow, that's deep. You break it down that way. And I personally, I heard people say, "Oh, you got plenty of time."
No, you don't.
Man, knowledge is so much power. Knowledge and wisdom is so key, and it's crazy growing up. I'm 39 now, but as I'm learning through life, everything that I know, I was raised around a lot of uneducated people. I'm not calling them dummies; they were just uneducated.
Yeah. I like to say ignorant implies you don't have the knowledge. It's not that you're stupid. You're just ignorant. You don't know.
Yeah, I grew up with a lot of ignorant people that wasn't really knew what the best things to do, and it's mind blowing. Like me personally, you know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking on what is and what someone else should do. I'm just thinking about things that I know now as an adult. Like, dang, if I had to do XYZ. Now, some things I kind of did. Most things did just naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had my college degree 24. Yeah, at 24.
Mm-hmm.
And now I got married at 27, but I had my kid till 30. Right. So if I could, I probably had my kid much sooner. But I'm okay because I'm 30. So I'll be 48, maybe 18. So I'm good. 48 still young.
You got, but you see, you see how if you look at the number like that, every day past 30 is like, whoa, dude, you got a plan for this? Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I don't have college debt, so I'm not paying college debt a year. And then me personally, as far as my kids, listen, I'm telling them now, you're gonna go to school and get you a trade or skill, but I'm not paying for you to get any student loan because one, I'm not gonna be in debt, and two, I don't want you being in debt neither.
Wait, you say you're not gonna be in debt? Let's unpack that. How long? So you're not gonna sign for their college debt?
No.
Okay, no. Why?
Because there's really no benefit of going into debt because of student loans.
No, but that's the only reason.
I mean, some of these college degrees. I mean, unless you go into the field, that's really gonna be more beneficial. A lot of people is going to college, and all you're doing is put yourself in more debt. So once you get out of college, you $100,000, you between $60,000 to $100,000 in debt, and you get paid minimum wage somewhere. I mean, once again, everyone don't know somebody, meaning that to move up in the world in corporate America, you must know someone to get you in the right place. So if you go to college and you're antisocial in college, you're not connected with the kids in school. Okay, yeah, you graduated valedictorian, but now you're in the workplace. You fill an application out. People don't know who you are.
Oh,
so you're gonna spend 3 or 4 years getting paid minimum money, and then you might grow up. You might jump the ropes a lot quicker, right? Possibly, but at the end of the day, it's not really worth it. Me, and honestly, I got me a free education. When I say free education, I'm gonna give a free plug here. Shout out to all my Job Corps students. Yeah, I was Job Corps. Got a free community college degree, free, debt free. So I haven't had student loans since I was 26, 27, for real. So as far as later on in my life, yes, I have a house I'm paying for. But 30 years from now, whatever, I'll be done.
Wait. But do the math. How old were you when you got your house? I mean, I'm not being smart.
No.
It's a reason.
What years now? 2 years ago. So okay. I'm 39, so I'm 37. So
37. That was still the summer of your life, though.
Yes.
So you can spend the fall paying off your house.
Yeah. Which I'll be done by retirement. Yeah. 67. So I'll be done.
What about the people wait to 40 be like, oh, I'm buying my first house. Dude, you're 45. You buying your first, you're gonna be working in the winter. See, it's all listen, how many years do humans live?
The average person?
That's it. I'm being nice and saying 80.
Yeah, that's nice. Most men don't last that long, but most of them live longer than that. But yeah, I go with 80.
And so
70-ish to 80 is where average life tendency usually lasts. So especially if you ain't taking care of yourself, you're not eating all this processed food, you're not really working out, walking, drinking water. Yeah.
So once again, life for me is the same as the seasons of the world. Everything works in rotation. Spring, summer, winter, fall. And I mean not winter, fall and winter, huh? But it's the life cycle. And some of us have just determined that you can be a kid. Like I said, I know 30-year-olds just now getting ready to get started. Bruh, that's what your youth was for. Mm-hmm. And when you fall off the trail back here, somebody got to pick that up for you. So and now I got to go into the relationship part of me doing all this. It's the same for marriage and stuff like that. You know, a lot. This is why brothers don't like to get married right now, because normally you get married, a woman tends to initiate 83% of the time. Women initiate divorce. It is what it is.
Facts.
But they do it around the 40s, right? So I'm in my 40s. I'm in the fall of my life. I'm supposed to be ready to move forward with the rest of my life, and then we're about to build here. This is when people don't, outside of Instagram models, people don't take trips to Hawaii in their 30s comfortably. They don't take European vacations in their 30s comfortably. That's when you start doing it in the 40s when the kids are out the house.
Right.
That's when you take those trips. That's when you decide to cash out on the relationship, get a divorce, take all the monies, and now I gotta spend my 40s starting from scratch like you just threw my whole summer in the trash. And oh my God, for these late building children things.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to wait till you in your 40s to get a man, and as soon as you start dating him for 3 months, you want to tell him you prayed. You don't even care if you know his last name, because I seen that on the videos. He looked like he could afford a baby, so he was getting a baby. You 40 years old. One of my best friends is 46 years old with a 6-year-old.
What? He started at 40?
No, he didn't start at 40. He met somebody on a dating app.
So they had a kid.
No, they didn't have a kid. She had a kid that he got to pay child support for.
Oh, so he did get her pregnant. Okay.
Yeah, he went in, but I'm just saying.
But they're not together though.
They were never together. He was like, dude, I didn't even know this chick when it happened. So what's gonna do? Oh, she want to have a baby. Why? And the bad part about this chick he got a baby with, she got a 22-year-old right now, right? Her oldest kid, 22.
You know what? I'm sorry, I gotta say this.
Mm-hmm.
He met her. Listen to the story, ladies and gentlemen. He met this guy, and he's being accountable for his actions. So regardless where I say next, he's still being held accountable because guess what? He got to pay child support for the next 18 years or
12 more.
4 more years. He got to do
which will put him right at 58 years old.
Okay.
And that's money not going into a 401k and investment. Anyway, keep going.
But I want to paint this picture here. He met her on an app, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tinder, whatever. Swipe left, swipe right.
Yep.
They hooked up, didn't really know her. They both was unresponsible because they both had unprotected sex because he didn't wear a condom. She wasn't on birth control. Just that simple. They both not accountable for their actions. Regardless, he got a child now, 6 years child support. Mm-hmm. But the one thing he said to me that kind of stuck out, which is very important to me, not important to me, but was a red flag for me. She already has a grown 22-year-old child.
Well,
right?
He was 16 at the time.
Okay, but still, a 16-year-old teenager, probably self-sufficient at that point.
Mm-hmm. She would have been like 42 years old.
But the point I'm trying to make is that
22, 16 years out of the house.
What age range does she fall in?
She's about 45, I think.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. So
okay.
She's 40-something. She's up in the 40s. She's up in age.
With a 6-year-old.
She wasn't married because she messed with a dude. Now, she might have been married. She never been married?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So we don't know if she might have been married or she was married. Doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, at that time frame when he messed with her, she was single.
Mm-hmm.
The point I want to put out right here is this. She, more likely, she was probably getting child support assistance from the first child father.
That is factual.
Okay. All right. Boom. So
that is factual.
He knew that. So she was already getting child support from the first dude. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the child was 16 and she knows she had 4 more years.
2.
Oh, right. 16. She had 2 more years knowing that, okay, 2 more years, I'm going to stop getting additional money. Because mind you, this lady, she had created this lifestyle that she lives in right now. Mm-hmm. Meaning that when she had the first child for the first 16 years at that time, we met him, she would live in a certain way because she was getting additional income from the child's father.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she knew, okay, this income that was coming in, I'm about to lose this.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do now? Let me meet some random guy online, barely get to know him, don't be in a relation with him, get pregnant by him, and I'm going to keep his baby. Because you know why? I'm going to get child support for the next 18 years.
But that's like 7 red flags.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I'm like, listen. And this could be a reach here. I could be stretching and guessing it, but nah, it don't add up right. Because I'm more of a logical thinker. What person? I know people who are married and got kids that are 16 and 8. It's just like, I don't know what happened. It was an accident. It wasn't planned. Once you have kids already and they're a certain age, I don't care if you're married or single, you're not trying to start over, especially if you're not married. See, married different because you have a new partner, you want to build something together, you know what I'm saying? Leave a legacy if you marry someone. But if you're not married to someone and you have another child and you have one that's 20 years old, you starting over all that was a money move and he missed it. And once again, I blame him.
Yep.
Because he decided to run up in there without no protection.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's condom break, he should have made sure she had plan B, whatever else. Right? But we don't have these conversations. So he's being held accountable. So both of them were guilty. I'm not picking those sides here. I'm just calling out shit when I see shit. And there was a whole bunch of shit that makes no sense. And he's being counted for the next 16 years, 18 years, whatever, with his woman that he really don't know. Because he just said he don't know her.
Yep. Nope.
And all it comes down to is that the thing is that she know that she may not be with somebody, but she knows she'll be financially stable for the next 12 years. I'm just saying.
You do it for $600 a month for the next 12 years, which is not insignificant.
No, but if she's smart enough, I doubt it. But if she's smart enough, if she stacked that money up, she'd be good.
No, I mean it. Here's the
I'm
thing.
not saying good, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing, because that's part of like when I was thinking, it's a lot going to it. It's like the mentality that's destroying all of our relationships, not just us. It's like because you refuse to recognize the seasons that you're in,
yes,
and respect the turning of the world. It's just causing chaos, and it's breaking down our society. It's our communities and our societies. I mean, honestly, there's nobody who thinks a 40-year-old mother. When you go to the playground and you see a 40-year-old woman with a 2-year-old, and you see a 23-year-old with a 2-year-old, you are not thinking the same damn thing. Those life paths are totally different. And it's not a pretty sight. Once again, now women, in the old days, women got pregnant. My grandmama stayed pregnant for 20 years. She had 11 kids.
Yeah.
My grandmama stayed pregnant but that was the world back then. You know, the men you got married, and the men who you married, because women leave divorce relationships 83% of the time. When you got married, you were staying married, for better or for worse. You can have 20 kids if you ain't going nowhere. But now, too many of y'all cashing out, which means that I got to rebuild my life at a certain age, regardless of what I thought I was going to do in my spring or my summer. I'm in my fall picking up pieces.
And also, they add to this too, because I lived this. I had grandfathers, and I know grandfathers.
Everybody got two.
See, I'm going with it? Who stayed there, regardless, they weren't even married, right? But they still stayed there and took care of the whole family. Yep. Took care of all the kids, even though there wasn't my biological granddad, he was still granddad.
Yep.
So, when people talk this up, men always leaving. There was men back then taking care of families that weren't theirs. So men have always taken care of kids that weren't theirs. Well, and women back then were having kids from men that weren't theirs. But guess what? There was still a family foundation where they still stayed and worked it out. But now, like Seth the Darchild said, times have changed. And when I say times have changed, there's more benefit for the woman to leave or kick the man out the house now. See, that wasn't a benefit back in the 80s, 70s, maybe 50s, 60s, whatever.
40s, whatever.
That wasn't a benefit back then. But now, in this day and age, the benefit now is, hey, you get the man out the house, we'll give you additional $500 on top of that. On top of food we give you, plus housing assistance. So, yeah, it makes sense for not the man to be in the house. And because men are still doing what they're doing back then. Men out there still having kids. Men still having sex. Women are still doing what they did back in the day. Mm-hmm. They still having sex. But only difference is the legalism has changed where now I can cash out if I kick this man at my house.
Now, see, that's the whole problem, the cash out portion. And for me, that's what's destroying this seasonal change that we all are on.
Yes.
And it's real simple. Here, just like you just said, when it's actually more beneficial for you to do the things you do. Here's the thing. Back in the day, why were men more willing to take care of kids that weren't there? Because we, as I said earlier, with the moral high ground, we respected that you might have made a mistake. We gave you the benefit of the doubt. You might have been with a bad guy, but you only got one kid with Travis. You know what I'm saying? You might have 2 kids with Travis, but you and Travis lived together and you fully expected to stay with Travis.
Right.
When you and Travis broke up, when you got me, you've been with me for 37 years. Nah, the average relationship now, 7 years at best?
Yeah, 7 years.
At best. There's no way you're gonna be with me there's no way I'm gonna invest in Travis's kid for the next 7 years just so you can trade me in on another model. If I thought you would be here for 35 years, yeah, I'm okay. 35 years is enough time for me to build equity in this relationship. But 7 years, I'm not taking care of another man's kid for 7 years. And his child, that's all. And here's the thing: the fact that y'all lost the moral high ground, and I'll keep saying it like that, is because when you got pregnant, I no longer believe that you did it out of love. So now I'm not looking at a kid that you and Travis love. I'm making up Travis. I don't know. I don't actually even know nobody named Travis.
Sorry if your name's Travis. And
you
put this scenario.
I just didn't want to keep on using
right, family.
What's the name? Tyrone and Jerome. I didn't want to keep. Anyway, Travis. But anyway, I thought that you really thought you and Travis were in a relationship and you was gonna make it work. No, the benefit of the doubt is gone. A lot of these kids running around ain't nothing but cold-blooded business decisions that you made. And I'm not about to be part to a cold-blooded business decision. So the age of the stepfather is over because you guys lost the moral high ground. I don't trust those kids who made out of love. My boy the woman who his baby mama is, she might get a check from him. But when I ask you during dating, hey, I know it's late, but you know what? I got the resources to take care of you, and I'm, that kid right there. What happened to the father? Did he die in a war? Because there ain't been no damn wars. Was it out of love? Nah, I met him on an app, and I got pregnant. And I wasn't about to have no baby. You got to take me as a package deal, though. Well, what you think? Wait. Don't get me wrong, though, because most dudes out here will shoot up the club before they leave. And next thing you know, you got another business deal standing out here. And you can't lie to me no more. It's y'all lost moral high ground. I don't trust you to tell the truth about your relationship actions.
I got to add to this. This is very on spot on. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand this conversation here is more of an educational than anything. The things he said about the fourth season is very key. I'm lucky enough to kind of fall on that by luck. Let's be clear, by luck, because if it was planned, I would have been in it. But make sure you take this information and you pass it on to your young generation. If you have kids, pass it on to them. I have kids, a boy and a girl. So yes, they getting past this information. The goal, once you start having kids, is for them to have a better outcome that you have.
Yes.
If you're a parent and you're not raising your kids, or at least giving them the information to be better, then what are you doing your kids in the next generation of injustice?
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. I know some parents out there are jealous of their kids and don't tell them stuff, and they got to learn on their own. And I just don't understand that. Like for example, if I was a mother, you know what, men. If I was a father, because I want to keep, if I'm a father at a young age, I messed up and had a girl pregnant at a young age, right? 16, whatever. I want to do everything in my power that I can control to make sure my son don't do what I did, so he can have a better outcome, be a better father to his child. Because most dudes had kids at a young age. Yeah, the kids are grown now, but they weren't the best men they were. So when they get older and 30, say they do get married, have a wife, and have kids, their younger child will have a better lifestyle than the first child did. And the first child might resent the dad because he wasn't there for him. How come he wasn't my dad? Because he was young. He didn't know how to be a dad, right? But the goal is that if I do have a son, I'm going to make sure that I'll do everything possible I can for them to follow my same footsteps. Now, could it still happen? Yes. But at that point now, I've given my son all the tools and resources so he don't fall that route. And if he do, guess what? I'm raising my kids to be accountable. So it won't be like, oh, Dad, you never told me. Oh, I didn't know. Like I'm watching the shows, big salute to the Godfather, Cam Samuel, but there was conversation out there. This woman got pregnant by a guy who was 30 years old, and she was talking about she didn't know that having a kid at a young age was a dumb move. What? You was born on Earth. We were all born on Earth right here.
Exactly.
16-year-old and 30+ year old. First off, that's such a great. You know, the R word, great. But on top of that, We all had sex education, and we knew it was all wrong because he couldn't come to the school and pick you back to school. He get arrested. He couldn't come to your cheerleading game, come to your basketball game because he'll get arrested. Mm-hmm. So y'all couldn't go out together on days because he'll get arrested. Mm-hmm. So the fact that I didn't know, bump out of that. But what I'm trying to make is that if my son decides he won't do that, I'm a homo full accountable for his actions. But the I'm trying to make is that my goal as a father to make sure my son don't have to fall any bad tendencies or bad things I did as a young boy. And I'll put a pin there for a minute.
Well, I'll co-sign that. It's two things I want to clarify. First off, seasons that I just denoted might be different for men and women. Because
Facts.
Because a woman's spring, I'm gonna be 1,000. The moment she have her first cycle, unfortunately, your spring might be over because the first time you interact with the person of the opposite sex, you can at this point make a baby. So women want, and once again, first off, I want to make sure this is full disclaimer. It ain't fair. Men and women are not the same. The rules for men and women are different. And
say that all the time.
Every time you try to fit men and women into the same mold, something gets broken. So, yeah, I would say this, and I'm gonna say this right now. You know what? I just want to branch off on that when you said 16. In the old days, a 36-year-old man could get a 16-year-old girl pregnant. They would be married the next day, probably with a shotgun at his back because
we're not having kids out of wedlock.
That part. I mean, and this is on you, ladies. Y'all did that. Men married because we wanted access to sexual relations. Period. We married because we loved you and we wanted to be sexually active with you. We understood that the responsibility of being sexually active with you came with a ring. And if it came with babies, that's the price I paid to be sexually active with you. You guys, men developed birth control. We did develop the science to create birth control. The moment birth control was created, you became sexual objects. You stopped being women we chased. Not that I think it's right, but now I can have as much sex with you as I want with a reasonable chance of not being a parent. Then abortion rolls around and it's like all you can eat buffet. I can have all the sex I want and without worrying about being with you because at this point, guess what you have, ladies? 100% control of the reproduction of the human race. We can argue that junk all day. Birth control and abortion gives women 100% control of the reproduction of the human race. You think men, have we shown any responsibility for that since then? Outside of being hooked up with child support? Y'all chose this. So you getting married, why get married? You was giving it away out of both pants legs anyway. Why would I get married to you? Once again, you lost the moral high ground. You've lost it. You've lost the benefit of the doubt. It's up to you to figure out how to get that back because you like the freedom and power that comes with it. But men and women are different. Women's summer ends a heck of a lot longer than a man. You think you and your summer up until 42? Nah, most dudes ain't touching you with a 10-foot pole after about 33, 34. We don't like older women. It is what it is.
Let me clarify here. Older men or mature men don't like women older.
Well, sexually.
Yes.
Okay.
Younger generation, young men. Oh yeah, we knock out the park.
Okay.
trying to be nicer. Because I was 22 years old, but I was messing with a 44-year-old.
No, but wait. Okay.
But I had no plans to ever marry her.
No. Let me clarify what you just said.
Go ahead.
I like what you said, but you're gonna own this part. Go ahead. You was 22 messing with a 44.
Yeah.
You had no plans on marrying her.
Nope.
She was just for fun.
Fun.
She was just a sexual object.
I'm sorry, but yes.
Okay. I'm not throwing no. That's the whole point. In abortion, and then in her age, she was a sexual object. If you don't want to be a sexual object, find somebody that loves you and will marry you in your 20s, and then you stay married through your 40s, and you won't have to be a sexual object because he had no intention of marrying you. it was never on the table. Why is a 44-year-old woman messing with a 22-year-old man? Because she couldn't get a man her own age, or she didn't want one. You can say whatever you want to make you feel better, but men and women are different. At 40, women don't make the same money men make. If you still just a sexual object in your 40s, your fall and your winter are going to be horrible unless you come up on a whole lot of money, which we watch Kevin Samuels. I'm not going to go over all the information he provides, but most women are not prepared for their fall or winters. And dropping babies on dudes is one of the few ways that y'all might get a little benefit, but it ain't even working. You better check the birth rates. You're talking about the marriage rates going down. Check the birth rates. Men ain't falling for this. It's a whole lot of women out there not making enough money to take care of themselves, thinking that they having hot girl summer, even though they in the fall of their life.
Yeah, we're gonna put the pin in because we can go down a rabbit hole on this.
Hey, I could be preaching for hours.
I'm saying because we can go down a rabbit hole on this one, and I just want once again just focus on the 4 seasons. And I said many times, ladies, you don't know this, but Twins has said this plenty of times. You are the prize. You need to understand that you're the prize. And the reason why I say prize before accept anything, because yes, you're the one who create life. Yes, right?
You're important.
You're important. Let me be clear. I want to say
you're
this.
Very important.
On the top team being on top. Women, you are the prize. But you need to understand, if you get pregnant, there's a number one risk. You got one survive the birth process. That's number one. And if you do a little research, ladies, women die a lot giving birth, especially Black women. You're high risk one getting pregnant and making through the pregnancy. 2, if you with the man or if not the man, at the end of the day, if he leaves or stay, you are still responsible to raise that child. If he gives you child support, if he don't give you child support, guess what? You still got to wake the child up. You still got to take him to school. You still got to pick him up. You still got to feed him. You still got to go basketball and football practice. You still got to do all those things, especially if the guy's not in the picture. So all your time with work and now your child is all being taken up. You understand this? This is why I say you're the prize. So it's your responsibility, now accountability, that for you to protect your womb. It's your body. My body, my choice. We hear it all the time on social media. I see it all the time. My body, my choice. I see it. Well, make sure you make the right choice because you are the prize. So you might be shocked that we're talking about this, but it is, at the end of the day, we know y'all are important to us. But y'all need to take accountability for yourself and stop saying men this, men that. This is your body, and whatever happens, the outcomes will fall on you. I have a daughter. These things, I'm going to tell her that. My daughter, I'm going to tell her, you are the prize. So you just can't be out here just giving everything up to every guy that you see. Every guy don't have the best intent for me. My son, he may get a different message. I might say, hey, son, enjoy life, right? But don't have kids until you're in your 40s. And if you do, here's the repercussions. Because you know why? Because if my daughter will get pregnant or something like that and the dude's not there, she's still going to have support. As a father, I'm going to be there as best as I can. But guess what? She's still going to have that great old legal system got her back. But my son, if he mess up, all right, son, pull your boots up, get 2-3 jobs. You got to do what you got to do. You got to take care of yourself, take care of her and the child. I don't care about XYZ. I told you what not to do. You did it. So I'll put a pin there. But this 4 seasons is very important in life. We all should be living life abundantly, free, flowing, traveling, die together, not dying alone, dying together, investing in each other, building each other up. I'll put a pin there because I'm gonna go off a whole another round. I'm done. Steph?
Yeah, I'll just pick back a tad bit, just to make sure, like I say, the 4 seasons, the numbers might not add up for everybody, but we gotta stop extending our youth well into our 30s. We gotta quit it. We gotta listen. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this part, because I believe in the 4 seasons. It's different though. But if the average human lifespan is 67, 70 years old, 70 divided by 3 is what, 24? Yeah. 23, 24? Okay. So all of y'all thinking, oh, I'm still young. If 70 divided by 3 is because you got your youth, middle age, and old age, right? Ain't that it? Okay, average lifespan 80 years. Okay, 80 divided by 3. It's still going to give you 26 years old.
You math genius.
I'm just saying about 26, give or take. So when you 26, you middle age, bro. You're not young. You middle age. You're 26 years old. You're middle age. From 26 to 52 is considered middle age. All these people keep pushing. 30 is the new 20. No, that's middle age. And in the middle part of your life is when you're supposed to do X, Y, Z. I prefer seasons because after the kids go out, that's a different season of your life. And in that time between the kids moving out and you retiring from work, that's when you grinding for real. That's when you stacking as much cheese as you can. So I prefer to break it down into 4 seasons, but still, from 26 to 52 is middle age. When you push a baby back into 40 years old, you'll be 58. You well into the third part of your trimester of your life, and you've made a mistake. You've made some mistakes, and we as society pay for those mistakes because young kids need guidance, and they need energy. They need dedication to them. It's hard to raise young kids. Who in their right mind think it get easier at 40 to be a father than it would have been at 35? You know how hard it is to play football with a kid when you're 47 versus when you're 27?
Big difference. Big difference, boy.
I mean, you can't even shoot basketball with your son the way you want to. I'm gonna own up to that part. I can't even go shoot basketball with my son the way I want to because honestly, you know how hard it is to jump up and down for rebounds?
Yeah, very hard.
That is not something. It wasn't this hard 10 years ago, and it wouldn't have been this hard 10 years before that.
Right.
Age. So
accountability, and you taking it, and you're not giving no excuses. You're not saying, "Oh, I'm stressed. My wife did this to me." X, Y, Z. No,
it's my life. I made decisions. I live my decisions.
Right.
But anyway, to let it go is that a lot of us, once again, life is broken down into cycles, seasons, sections, whatever you want to call it. My problem is I see so many of us as people, black or white, it don't matter, pushing one cycle well into the other cycle. And there's no penalty for it until everything falls apart in your life. Once again, a 42-year-old, a pregnant 40-year-old woman looks ridiculous. You know what else looks ridiculous? Because you got divorced at 42 because you still thought you could go out and get you a man and you don't have one. You know what else looks ridiculous? A 50-year-old woman pushing a lawnmower in her backyard. It looks ridiculous. Ain't no 50-plus-year-old woman should be pushing a lawnmower. I see it all the time.
And it's cool that you can do it. But you shouldn't be doing it.
You shouldn't. Just because you can do something don't mean you should do it. I can shoot somebody in the face. I'm going to go to jail, but I can't. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should.
And just make it right.
And a 50-year-old woman pushing a lawnmower or a baby stroller looks bad. All right, that's it for me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to the Dachopteam. I'm your host, twinsinc.
Hey, I'm Seth the Dark Child.
Email us at dachopteam@gmail.com if you have any questions, some input, some output. Dislikes, likes, subscribe to the channel, The Dachopteam. Follow us on IG and Twitter, The Dachopteam. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next week, Sunday Live. We out.
Peace.
Peace.